Recording is on.
Face ass.
And we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What? Let me just say podcast. I am your host Ray. With me as always we have Father.
Harriet Tubman, Wakanda forever.
We got we have first Black Ginger.
Whew. Life.
And we have Shining Wolf.
I'm that bright light shining through your curtain. I'm Shining Wolf.
I
Nice
like
to
that.
be here.
I like that. I like
Bars.
that. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Y'all got any Valentines?
I think I have I might have like 3.
I have one. I'm gonna be busy tomorrow.
Well, here's the twist. They're all on Twitter.
All on Twitter.
I'm a Twitter thought now.
Any of them reachable from your current location?
Yeah.
Oh well, you might be in business there if they don't flake on you.
Man.
Shoot, I'm gonna just do what I usually do: make fun of single women that are single on Valentine's Day. I can understand men being.
That's mean.
I know. I do it every year. Anytime when they say I can't find no good man, I just tell them check your friend zone.
Yo, they hate that when you tell them that shit.
Yeah, I do it all the fucking time. It's like, damn, is all the good men gone? I don't know. Check your friend zone. It might be
that might be the answer though. That might be the answer.
Some dudes stupid out here. They don't know what to say out their mouth. Every time, my favorite saying I hear from women is, dudes talk themselves out of pussy every day.
Oh well, yeah.
We know a lot of people.
You either talk yourself out of pussy or you under talk.
Oh, big facts. Big facts. All right, let's get on with this topic. Today, now, last week, me and Father, we kind of talked about the Gayle King and the whole Lisa Leslie interview and the Kobe Bryant thing. Now, I didn't think it was going to get this far where it all of a sudden become from Gayle King. Everybody's getting on Gayle King for what she said about or Kobe Bryant to now being Gayle King versus Snoop, and now white media has been coming at Snoop where he has to have to apologize. And I want to get you gentlemen's opinion on it. How do y'all feel about that? Who wants to go first on it?
I want to go first. Can I go first?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. So I felt like I agree with Snoop Dogg's overall statements and point of view, but I don't think that he should have came at her through that type of threat, because he pretty much threatened to come at her, to get his dogs and come at her, and I don't think that he should have did it. I think he's too old for that type of stuff, and it's 2020. That type of stuff doesn't go over well on mass media. I think that was his only mistake, really. Now, someone else can go.
Snoop. See, it's one of those things where I don't agree, but I understand, and I don't agree in the sense that he needed to go like that hard because, as Clarence said, the media is going to chew you up, especially you being a black man, especially you being a former gangster rapper. Because they're gonna use that shit against you. They're gonna use every other thing. You already done cheated on your wife. Like, there's a whole lot of shit in your past that they'll bring up to demonize you. So when you go that hard, I understand. A lot of black men understand because motherfuckers don't listen to us. Even when we're right, even when we see the shit coming, if it's coming from a black man, that we're this, we're abusers, we're homophobic, we're fucking misogynists. Like, all that shit comes out, But when we get proven right, no one wants to offer us an apology, or no one wants to admit that we were actually fucking right about the shit. So Snoop Dogg going that hard is like, yeah, like when we this is how we speak when we in our spaces, like we gonna call Gayle King a dog faced ass bitch and shit like that. This is like when we passionate about shit, like when we go hard for people that we really fuck with, that we really love, we gonna go hard. So to that point, I understand, but I only really disagree with, like, as Clarence said, like what he actually said in the public, because that shit could have been said, like, what I'm saying, like probably in his own little podcast or whatever. Like if he had something like that, it'll be his own little space. He could say whatever the fuck he want. But to say that like out there, not, what I'm saying? Of course they're gonna twist it. It's not right. And obviously he said that within context. But the fact that he had to, apologize shows even further that they'll demonize your character in order to get you to do something. It happened with Kevin Hart. He got pulled from the Oscars after stuff about him being homophobic apparently came up. We all knew it was jokes. Like black men, we all knew it was jokes. We all knew that he wasn't really gonna throw a freaking dollhouse at his son for being gay. But he caught his ass, and then he had to bow down. You know what I'm saying?
As far as the Kevin Hart thing goes, we all know they jokes, but to some people, it's like me when I see certain things and people make certain like whooping jokes. Being through something is different than when you don't go through it. And I actually recently watched the Kevin Hart documentary, and there's one thing he said he did learn, and what he did, it wasn't that people are like, oh, people go back and now they want to apologize. Sometimes you just got to be told the right message. And in the documentary, I forgot who he said told him. I think it was I can't remember, but the person told him it's not about the apology. It was about not condoning violence. Now that's something he had to learn. And I think, as far as the Kevin Hart go, and far as Snoop Dogg, I understand. LA, the Lakers mean, over there, the Lakers are literally the culture and a part of. I think Kendrick Lamar said it. Kobe became part of everybody's identity out there. So and Snoop Dogg, who probably was even more of a personal friend, probably hung out with him or whatever. On a more personal level. Of course, you're gonna respond like that, especially about a friend.
Yeah.
Now, as far as Gayle King, whatever. As far as what she said, as a journalist, I see nothing wrong with the question she asked Leslie, but the problem, I think, extended was telling Leslie you wouldn't see it. As she told her, he's not that type of guy. That she kept pressing the issue was more the problem.
Yeah, she was harping on the same question over and over again.
Yeah,
she was trying to push that, oh, this is true, and I'm gonna get it to come out of your mouth that this is true, or get you to sway your view on it, or something like that.
And some people, they think there's still people.
Oh shit, he got cut off.
Hello?
He actually got cut off. I was just about to say, he actually said what I said last week, with them framing the narrative that Gayle King wanted her to basically like soft admit that Kobe did it or whatever. She just kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing. I'm like, bruh, the dude is
Hello?
like,
Hello?
Yeah, hello. He's back.
I don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah.
I was speaking of the case. Some people think he still did it due to the fact there was a payment to the victim, but they didn't look at the other stuff. Like, people say there was a lot of incoherent in her story. When she went up and got, for a rape kit, there was other men DNA on her, and her excuse was, I just grabbed something. Her excuse was, I just grabbed something out of the laundry. Then somebody reported that she said she wanted to find a way into Kobe's room or something, and they said the civil, it was just a lie. She stopped coordinating with the police. And don't get me wrong, I know sometimes, like, being in the military, they tell you the grilling that people got to go to, and I know some women who've been through stuff, and they're just like, they just don't want to do it because it don't feel like it's gonna be an end to it. But to say Kobe did it, we weren't there. Um, he did say he had sex with her, and it could just be a lot. I mean, and I mean, as far as some things, I've been, thinking I was cool with the chick talking, not done nothing like sexual, just like trying to, take her out, flirt with her, or whatever. Nothing physical, but they come, I don't like you like that, but instead of just telling you because they're scared, and sometimes they need it. I like a woman to speak up. You
Yeah,
got to speak
yeah.
your mind.
That's the thing with
But
some women.
but that shit over years dealing with when I just learned I'm gonna back off. I'm gonna need you to tell me before I do anything. From seeing other things happen to people, and I want to say, little close clause because somebody miscommunication from one of us.
And to back up what you said real quick, I just think it's still a learning process for a lot of people. Because
Mm,
like 10, 20 years ago, we wasn't really on that. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Like if a woman came up to you and said, "Oh, I really didn't feel like doing it, but I did it anyway." Like today, a lot of people would consider that rape. But like back then, that wasn't really rape. You just gang goofy. But like
Are you
yeah,
talking about sexual coercion?
yeah, like a lot of people nowadays would consider sexual coercion rape because like say you like they bring up that shit all the time where like did you have a married couple and the dude keeps wanting to sleep with his wife, is her wife don't feel like it, but like after the fourth time asking she goes okay fine, like they call that rape today, but back then it wasn't called rape. So
mm.
it's a culture change. It's like shit is changing, and you know what I'm saying? While we're having these conversations, a lot of motherfuckers is still going to be stuck in that same, mentality that there was 10, 20 years ago.
You know
So
what?
having that conversation, you just got to keep that in mind.
You know what? Wallace, you remind me of reading an article and the way somebody responded to that article. The article was a man turned himself in for having sex with his wife while he was asleep. And one dude came on my status like, "That's not rape. That's his wife." My girls do to me was a. I was like, "That's something y'all establish and understand." But if you actually look at it, some people don't want to be touching their sleep. Even though it's his wife, some people don't want to be walking up with a finger in their booty hole.
You,
And and
Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry.
he
Uh,
kept arguing with me like, I had girls do that to me, giving me head while I'm sleeping. I was like, that's something that y'all understood, but for her, that was, that's probably not the case. But come find out though, her husband was actually like taking advantage of his wife while she was drunk. Different case, but some people just don't, want it. Everybody gonna want that.
man,
You say you don't want to be woken up by sex
I
until it's a guy doing it, then you're gonna have a problem. I thought
I
you
know.
like being. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know some progressive people who will have sex with you while they're drunk. I know some progressive girls that had sex with me while I was drunk. So,
Oh, true. I've
and they
seen
claim to be
status.
they claim to be progressive real hard too.
I've seen many statuses from women on Facebook like, I'm drinking alcohol and I wish I had a boo here for the after effects.
Hmm.
Or Jamie Foxx's whole song, blame it on the alcohol. I mean, women were loving that song
Hmm. A lot.
a lot.
I remember when it
But,
came out.
I mean, it's just like Wallace said, it's all about talking and understanding. Because I know I remember growing up, hearing things, women like aggressive men and you got to be bold and all that. Eh, some truth to that, but you got to know the person a little bit first or something. You just can't be out here willy nilly with somebody like, oh, yeah.
Can't be going straight ham on people you don't really know like that.
Okay. The way I see this whole situation, it should have never gotten the white media. That's my whole problem with this whole thing. First things first, I don't feel like Gail never really fully apologized. She kind of like placed the blame on CBS, but never really took like accountability for it. So I feel like that's another reason why I feel like a lot of black men are mad at her because there was no accountability. Another thing, I don't have a problem with Snoop did, but death threats are a bit too much. I will admit that, even though I don't think he was threatening people but I know there are stupid people who probably think of it as a threat. So they would probably like go out and see Gail and probably do some bodily harm to her. So yeah, the threatening part, it is a bit much and all that other stuff. But I've always told people, if you gonna say something like, especially when it's like your homeboy or your close friend or your
Mhm.
relative, if anybody say something disrespectful to your mom or to them and they're dead, I'm pretty sure you're gonna want to fight the nigga. And I've told people that, and I can understand
Yeah.
like Snoop Dogg's anger because he started out. If anybody noticed, he started out calm, but I guess when he started mentioning Kobe, it started getting angry. You can see that anger build up,
It's
and after filthy dog head bitch, and that's where he's like, man, fuck it, I'm just gonna let that shit fly. Um, I was watching something on CNBC. I think that's MSNBC, and the guy Joe Scarborough, he was just like going on this stupid ass rant about how come no one is protecting black women and all that other stuff. I thought it was the most disingenuous shit. To me, I thought it was the most disingenuous shit, and it made it about more or less about Gail than about Kobe Bryant and his family. And I've seen a lot of YouTubers make it a gender war between black men and black women, which I also disagree with because this is not about black men and black women. And like Father always said, generalization doesn't work. This should have been about Gail King and what she did in the interview with Lisa Leslie, and it should have stayed there. As far as Gail and Snoop, I feel like they should have just kept that conversation between them. I'm pretty sure they got their numbers. If not, they could DM each other and they could talk about how you was out of pocket. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't mind them saying that publicly, and Snoop did apologize. But I feel like we're not hearing from Gail,
mm.
and I would like to hear. I would like to hear from Gail for one thing, and another thing. It also taught me that a lot of people like it's like black man. We ain't got no fallback plan because they was going after his money. Not only like they was like, "Where's Viacom?" They was trying to bring Martha Stewart into it. They was trying to bring other people that like Snoop done work with into it. I was watching First Things First on Fox Sports One, and like Snoop was like, "Hey, if you need," he was talking to Tom Brady, and he was like, "Hey, you need a wide receiver? Let me know." And Tom Brady was like, "Okay." And the dude Nick Wright, that's one of the hosts, he was like, "So we just not going to talk about what Snoop did this week?" And it's like, y'all a sports show. Y'all don't have to talk about that. That's none of your business. And
Right.
also,
Mhm.
fuck Al Sharpton. Also, fuck Al Sharpton because I feel like he was bug dancing for White Daddy too, White Zaddy. Especially, I feel like if they was coming to him, he should have been like, "This is a black person's business, and y'all should have minded." So, the
Um.
biggest thing I took out of it is that white media was getting into it, and it seems like Snoop didn't have no other choice but to apologize because
Mhm.
how else he's going to make his money? Because they was really coming after his money. So
I
that's
actually saw
what
a article that said Snoop apologized after talking to his mama.
he did,
Yeah,
and
so I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he did talk to his mom. I'm pretty sure he calmed down and he realized what he said was out of pocket too,
Hmm.
and he apologized like a man. But I don't. But I still feel like this should have never got that far.
Yeah. Anybody know Dr. Boyce Watkins?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Dr. Boyce Watkins felt like that he shouldn't have backpedaled. He shouldn't have apologized.
I Dr. Bones Watkins. I don't know. It's something about him that I'm not feeling, and then I don't know
Is
what. And I usually
okay.
try
The
to,
thing is, go ahead. Go ahead.
and
Go
I
ahead. My
usually
bad.
try to take the good and bad from everybody, like Umar Johnson. I love
Hmm.
the man, but sometimes, like with his Kobe theory, he's just a little.
He be
He
tipping
was
it
off.
a little bit too much.
Yeah.
He was
I
off.
mean,
He was
yeah.
fucking off.
One of the things I learned from one of my combat instructors in the Marine Corps was you're not gonna like everybody that's a leader or got something to say, but take what you can from them. That's what I try to do. But Dr. Boyd Watkins, I don't know. He's another person. Sometimes you might hear something good, but then he say some dumb shit out of his mouth. I don't, I don't know.
I feel the same way.
Yeah. I definitely.
I'm Yeah, I'm agree with that. Anybody else have anything to say before we move on to our next topic?
Ray, you mentioned the supposedly war between black women and black men,
Yes.
and, and
I don't think that's that much of a war anymore. I think that's kind
no,
of
it's not
past
a
a little
war.
bit.
It's not a war to me. What I see is a lot of, and I think Ray is putting this before. We need to have talks. We need a lot of men, a lot of black men that have talks, the women that have talks, and talks with each other. Because I think I got in an argument with Ray and Wallace too long ago about arguing back and forth with women, with certain type of women on things, and I didn't clear it up correctly. Now, don't get me wrong. One, I just learned arguing on the internet is not worth it because people not listening. They're gonna do what they want.
Right.
But
People do arguments a lot better or debates a lot better when they're in person.
people not gonna want to hear you out. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes when we hear some, and don't get me wrong, when you hear a lot of negative stuff about what something as a black man or you in the military, whatever the case may be, and you fit in that demographic, sometimes hearing it is gonna hurt. But I also feel like everybody, there's always a extremist to somebody that's gonna put it, and some of it on both sides, for men and women, is people's perspective, and some of it's twisted. Because I have seen where men have talked about women, and I'm like, what women are you meeting? But also with the women, what men are you meeting? But I have feel like there's been more ignorant black men out there. Now it could, and yet again, that can just be my perspective. Because I've met some guys, seen some guys on the internet say some dumb shit. Like the guy said, women can't have sex on the first date, but men can. Who the fuck are you having sex with then? That's, but uh, but I think it goes back to what you said, Ray, about having real legitimate talks and understand
Yeah, I
where
agree.
everybody and understand when people coming from. And it's not always, and I think I said before, I don't think it's always about the people you meet. Some people, I think it's a thing in society that hide who you are because you scared somebody gonna judge you about it, or things like that. But I mean, I see all day down my timeline. I've seen black women that take account, certain black women that take accountability and put everything on black man, and I see black men do it. I think the other day I saw something about a guy saying when he cheats, it's not his fault, it's your fault because you're not doing what you need to do at home.
Yeah, I've
So
seen both sides say that.
it's and it might some of it, but yet again, is lack of communication and people. And since we all like close to 30 or over 30, I think we have a different mindset on things. Men, some of us men, a lot of men do want to be providers, but I've seen it. Trying to talk and date out here. Other day I had a chick never hit me back because I was trying to do homework, but I also tried to give her time to talk to her. But I guess she didn't like that. My she wasn't getting all my attention, and that's the problem with some women. Then there's some problem with some men. Some men don't have. What I've learned is some women don't mind if you don't have money, but they want to see a plan. They want to see you working towards a goal. They just don't want to hear it. They want to see actual
Right.
evidence. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And
That's
they
very
want to
true.
see actual evidence. There's some women don't want, they had it in the past and they tired of a guy that they try to support and all he did was get on his feet and leave. But on our hand, man, we want somebody, that's I know there's gonna be around with me just in case my plan don't work out or it do make it, then something happen and I lose it all. I need to know if you're not gonna just run at the slightest hint of no money. And I listened to a guy named Dr. Eric Thomas and his partner. And before they got really big, Dr. Eric Thomas talked about how his wife supported him when he was homeless, when he wasn't a big speaker, wasn't getting the money. She got the big paying job first, but now he's like, now that she has, especially now that she has MS, but he's at a place to take care of her, he's doing all out he can to the point where he was like, "This is my wife. She did all this, fed me, let me get in her mother house when I ain't had nothing. Of course I'm giving back to her. No ifs, ands, and buts about it." she coming first, you know. Or the guy who got a kidney and got the wife, got the girl, got the woman a salon in return. They all black men to give out to black women, and vice versa. I just think people need we need in the say the end of this all we need talks, like Ray said. That's something always talks and discussions, and sometimes it's not about proving points, or it's about understanding. I don't think a lot of people do that.
I'm gonna slightly agree with you on the proven points talk because I feel like when you prove a point, when you prove a point and you highlight that you've proven a point, what leg does the other person have to stand on in order to not argue it, but in order to like try to dispute it? Because if I prove my point that there are men out there that do provide for their wives, when a woman tells me that there's no good men out here, then
Mm-hmm.
then her argument doesn't have any basis, or her experience is still valid, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could happen to her. That's fine. But the narrative that she has no merit. Therefore, she would have to shift her thinking when it comes to that certain topic. I think that's what it is here. There's a lot of people that are too proud to admit when they're wrong. This is especially the case for both black men and black women. When we're super passionate about something, you can't tell us nothing, even if we provide cold hard facts. But what I don't like is how
Mm-hmm.
certain narratives get played out because you are just laser focused, or you are pigeonholed into this one thing that you are super passionate about, and you don't take the time to see all different areas. You don't take the time to see different
You,
perspectives
you
because
know what? Rather, I'm sorry to cut you off, but sometimes that's what I get from you and Ray. And I know y'all don't mean to, but and I think that's sometimes why this communication come in. Sometimes I'm not there to argue y'all point, just trying to make a discussion, and that's on me. Should have made it more clear when I do that. But you're right, and it's all about the discussion and understanding, and people just don't want to do it. And far as I've noticed, people do not like to be wrong, even for the simplest things. You can tell somebody, and they be like, "Oh, same." You know, they find some way. Just I think what I'm trying to think of something that I remember happening with somebody. She go ahead.
now I was just saying, like, I'm like, we're just trying to dispel narratives here because I don't like that whole men are trash narrative. I don't like that. I don't like narratives about black women. I don't like
Mm-hmm.
being. I don't like narratives that people use to disrespect black women, like black women are ratchet and shit like that. I hate all of that. So,
Yeah.
in order to combat those narratives, it has to be a balance of both experience and actual like receipts.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you take the time, it's like people who live in the hood versus people who are well traveled. Of course, the people who live in the hood are going to have a more negative outlook on life because they live in the hood, right? But that person who's well traveled, yeah, there's going to be negative shit, but he done seen the beauty of the world too, so his view is going to be a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more balanced. And balance is very healthy when it comes to human beings. And human beings, were symmetrical. We got two arms, two legs, balance. Therefore, if we apply that to life, then once you have a balanced perspective on things, then you become much more of a like easier person to deal with, as instead of being too far right or too far left. And we've seen that shit happen, especially in the motherfucking black community. Niggas that are too far left are on that kumbaya shit, and then we get left with crumbs. Niggas that are too far right are just straight up coons. That's all I'm saying.
And also, I would like to add to anybody think that Snoop Dogg's comments were kind of misogynistic. I want people to know, like, first things first, to deal with hip hop, mostly hip hop or black men and Oprah and Gail. That's been going along far before this shit has ever happened. This been going on ever since Oprah had the show. Black men has kind of had a problem with Oprah. Also, I've heard Snoop Dogg call Suge Knight a bitch. So it's not like he's just attacking black women, as people would say. I've heard him call Suge Knight a bitch. And if anybody know who Suge Knight is, That's a big motherfucker. 50 Cent, another people who think he might be a little misogynistic. He has done more shit to Ja Rule and Rick Ross than he has ever done to fucking Oprah and Gail. Hell, like I still don't think Floyd Mayweather could read because of 50 Cent. All right, so these are people. To me, these are people like. I think a lot of people are not used to black male anger, and that's what you saw with Snoop. So when you see that, I think people get afraid because you don't know how to control it, especially with a black man's anger. When we get like angry, like it's really like animalistic, kind of how we get angry. We want to like fuck shit up. I've seen it. People who's been there.
I don't know what you're talking about, Ray. Some people say we always are angry. I mean,
uh, uh,
the Cleveland show made a joke about it. Cleveland was upset about something. He started crying, and all the people, all his little fake ass friends was like, "He's crying." I thought they just got angry.
it's just well, right now in this era, we're trying to expose our emotions, or at least explain them now. Not with just our fists. We're trying to explain them with our words now, and we're getting better at it. I would just say that. But most of the time, when niggas get angry, yeah, niggas want to fight. All right. Let's go on to the next topic. We're gonna be talking about Jussie Smollett. If anybody knows, he's been indicted on 6 more charges. He faces 6. Yeah, he faces 6 new charges to lying to the police, and I think he's going to court next week for it. And I think the other funny part about it, because I was watching the reel and they was discussing about it, and Amanda Seales and everybody then was talking about it. Amanda Seales said that even though he was lying about it, it was low key noble. And I'm paraphrasing that she basically called it. Yeah, she basically called it low key noble. And I will, while I look for the quote of what she actually said, I wanted y'all opinion on it if y'all heard about it, or y'all can talk about Jussie Smollett.
The updates. What was noble about him lying? Because it was to push a certain narrative or something.
We don't know. He hasn't been proven yet.
Really?
I'm just fucking around.
Okay, I found the quote. Hold on. I found the quote. Even if it was a hoax, because she repeated herself twice. This is happening. This is really happening all the time, and even if it was a hoax, for the sake of bringing attention to this, then I'm like, that's low key noble. Like, I'm just at my wit's end about us censoring situations like this and wanting to make people have to pay. Like, Emmett Till's accuser was still alive. I think she's still alive. And this young man died, and she was announced that she was lying about it. They should have put shackles on her that day, and she's still walking around. If I'm correct, I'm sure she's dead because I thought she said that on her deathbed.
Yeah, I read saying it on her deathbed or some shit.
Okay, so no one was hurt in this situation. Nobody. You know what they're mad about? Their time, their resources being used. Taxpayers' resources being used every day to imprison people who have done nothing but be an addict. So I don't want to hear about Jussie Smollett. What y'all think?
Okay, so
I just want a black man. I just want a black man, be a gay, straight, trans, or whatever, get one over on the court system.
OJ did it.
And I'm like, we ain't even fuck with OJ.
Yeah, we ain't even fuck with OJ.
Oh man,
Johnny Cochran. Hell, Marion Barry smoked crack and he's still married. God bless Marion. Rest in peace, Marion Barry.
I mean, rest in peace, Michael Jackson too. Even though we all knew he ain't do it, that bitch
set me up.
Yeah.
Hell, Kobe Bryant. We was just on Kobe. Kobe didn't do it, but I get what you're saying though. I get what you're saying.
So See, she says some things that are cool, like the whole Emmett Till thing, and you locking black people up for committing no crimes and shit. I could deal with that, but on the other hand, to say it's kind of low key noble, the only reason I disagree is because not only was it a false narrative, but it two Nigerian dudes that was in on it too.
Mm.
So
Yeah, it started off. It started off to say it was two white people with bleach, and the news talk about this is MAGA country bits, and they found out it was two Nigerians that he knew.
yeah, and like in to that sense, then it's not really all that noble because not only was it a lie, but you further tried to incriminate other black people in your lie. So that's not really noble to me.
Mm.
And number two, and bro, the fucking slander black men had to go through when this whole idea was going on. That whole, oh my God, straight black men don't speak about gay issues. Straight black men are the white people of the black community. Straight black man silence on Justice Wallace attack is deafening. By the way, that article was deleted. The person who wrote that
Oh,
deleted the article when it came out that that nigga was lying. So they bought that back up on Twitter. It was a Twitter post. Someone bought it back up, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, it's real deafening now, huh?" And the thing that kills me the most is how black men, for the most part, were skeptical about it only really because of the time frame. It was like what 2 a.m. in Chicago, and at that time it was like negative degrees, and you go into a like a freaking subway with all the money you got.
Subway.
You know what
It
I'm
was Subway.
Yeah, like with all the money you got, you want to go to a damn subway and cold and freezing temperatures. Like I'm not even sure you could even get an Uber Eats out there because of how cold it was. So the
man.
fact that it was an attack per se, you got attacked or whatever. And I remember when it first came out, we was riding for justice. We was like, okay, if this shit really happened, then that's unfortunate. We don't want to see no brother getting beat, whether he gay, straight, or trans, or like whatever. We don't want to see one of our own getting beat up or killed out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? But to try to make this narrative that we just don't care because he's gay. Like, first of all, motherfuckers was arguing about whether to prioritize with the fact that he was a gay man or a black man. And then of course the smart people are like it's both, nigga. It's both. It can be both racist and homophobic at the same time. This ain't even intersectionality. It's just what it is. It's
Mhm.
racist and it's homophobic because according to what Jussie said, he called them both slurs. And I'm like, okay, fine. If that's the case, then I hope he has a speedy recovery and I hope he gets justice from this because at the end of the day, that's another black man. You understand? And he's a gay man too, so the LGBT going ride for him, right? Well, now look at where we at right now. You know what I think is real deafening? The silence of the LGBT community. That's kind of what's deafening here because I ain't really heard none of them really say nothing. The only really people I've heard that say some shit is like real black, the real big black LGBT what's it called? Like people on Twitter and social media and shit. Like they've spoken out, but I didn't really see like them as a whole speak out on Jussie Smollett.
You
So
know, I think my problem with it for the live is the fact that it just feels more racist that we just lying about what we go through in this country. That oh no, y'all don't really go through that. Y'all lying. Racism dead. All those stupid people out there that keep saying that
you're right.
it feeds some people. You just in my speech class, one of the black girls, she gave a speech on incorporating culture, and then Christian. Yeah, I mean Christian is in a group chat. Yeah, we teaching him stuff.
Yeah.
We opened his eyes. He did the group chat inspired him to do his informative speech on the blue wall of silence. Now he pulls up a statistic that out of 1,000 people killed by the police, 46 of them were black men, and then 36 of the thousand is white men. right?
Mhm.
And then somebody, a white guy, decided to say, but that's only a 10% difference. It don't look like a big difference. And we had to sit there and explain to him we're a smaller population in proportion, is a bigger number. Having a bigger number over the dominant having a bigger number of deaths over having a bigger number of deaths over people that have more people proportionally don't add up. And it took a while to get that through his head. But it's people like that like, oh no, I don't see the difference. No, it can't be like that. It just fuels them more. I'm just repeating that point.
Shining Wolf, you got anything to say about it, or are you still trying to find more information?
Um, I just don't see how lying is noble. Lying about something that didn't happen is noble. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. Really, I know it's
A lot of
true.
people, you're not the only one. A lot of people a lot of people's like, I was with you, Amanda, until you said lying was no key noble. That's how a lot of people felt about that too. So you're not the only one.
I'm like, even if it's too,
I mean, depending on the situation, lying can be noble, right? Depending if you
yeah. I
say with
mean, well,
somebody.
I mean, it
No,
can,
I'm
Nah,
not.
no.
So if it's a
but not when you're wasting people's time though. Looking
no,
into
no.
a case that didn't
The reason
happen.
why I said
But I
lying can
get what
be
you're saying though.
because depending on the situation,
Yeah,
the truth can put somebody in a place that they actually didn't do it.
yeah.
Like, this is what I mean. Not lying for selfish gain, but lying where it protects somebody that actually didn't do it.
Yeah, I can see
Because
that.
like I don't know if y'all remember Greg from the school, former police officer, older guy. He
no.
didn't necessarily lie. He used to work in the school store. The older guy, real tall, real big, worked
Okay,
around.
I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Now he one of the reasons why he didn't like being a cop anymore was the way the DA operated, and they tried to get a dude on like rape and statutory rape of somebody, but it was the way they asked the questions. You know what I'm saying? The dude said he had sex with her, but Greg had seen her around before. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of sticky situations, and she was trying to lie on him. Now Greg didn't lie in this instance, but the DA tried to manipulate his words to make it look like he actually raped him. And he actually said the DA got mad that he went back and questioned the dude again, or her again, after talking to one of them.
Sound like some Central Park 5 shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I I guess I understand what you're saying, but my thing is, if you wanted to, let's say, promote or put out the idea that a lot of homosexual, like the LGBT, they get a lot of abuse from people that don't like their lifestyle, which is
Mm-hmm.
true and which is actually happens. My thing is, you're an actor,
Mm-hmm.
put it in a movie or a short film. It's like, I'm pretty sure you have enough money, you can do a short film or something like that. I just like uh what was that movie with Michael B. Jordan when he was in Oakland?
Fruitville Station.
Thank you. All right, Fruitville Station and Central Park 5. That Ava DuVernay did that. Like shit like this happens. Like there's more. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
fake a crime to put a point out there that LGBT gets treated as some sort of way. Most people already know that, but if you really want to like do it, I've always said do it in film. That's probably the safest way, and that way you won't get in trouble. A lot of people wouldn't look at you as a liar, because in my opinion, I've been on this from the jump. I don't believe Jussie when he said like bunch of white people like beat him up. But I also don't believe the cops either when they said it was two Nigerians and all this and then all that shit. I've always said I think he's fucking with someone's man, and if beat his ass, and I guess he was too embarrassed because I believe he had a boyfriend or some shit like that. That's my stance has always been on that, and I I mean I don't want to say I haven't been proven right or wrong. So if he was telling the truth, I don't mind giving an apology. I don't mind being wrong, but I think for this situation, I think a lot of people want to believe him, especially like the way people come. Like Father said, the way people come out of him, they were supporting of him. It was like, damn, this is fucked up, and also he said it came from damn Jesse getting fucked up to a lot of gay black men talk about, well, this is how you straight black men treat us as all the other shit, and a lot of straight black men was like, whoa, we ain't had nothing to do with this. It's just like why are we getting the blame for something that we did? And it's like, so I'm glad we're having this conversation, but yeah, he doesn't. I feel like he just didn't have to cry wolf for it. As far as Amanda Seals, nah. I'm like I said, I'm with you until the like low key no. Nah, it's not low key noble. To me, it's not low key noble at all. I don't see what you was getting at.
You know what I'm really mad about now, Ray? Because you just pointed out he's an actor. You get paid to lie on camera every day for your occupation. You couldn't think of a better lie than that?
Apparently not.
And it's like the more shit came out, the more like, of course, people are not gonna believe it because like the more shit came out, the more people was like, wait, this is not adding up. Like, wait a minute. Like even gay black men from Chicago was like, hold on a second, this shit ain't right. And I was telling people, I was like, because people thought like me being a straight black man, I'm just saying that because I'm straight. I was like, nah, I'm hearing this from gay black men. Like this shit ain't right. And you know, anyway, anybody else has something to say before we move on to our next topic?
I did see an article. I don't know if I didn't read it, but there was supposedly an article like 2 weeks ago that he was trying to sue the city of Chicago for something. I forgot what it was, like defamation or something.
Defamation of character.
I don't know. I think it was something. I can't remember. It could have been that or something where the way they were handling the court case was illegal.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why Kim Fox got all them charges dropped because she was the one that. And a lot of people think it's really about Kim Fox because she's up for re-election. So I think a lot of people think it was about that too, and she was the one that got him the charges dropped and all that other shit. So, and it's actually a lot of political background to this, like Kamala Harris and Cory Booker. I think other people is like really involved in this too. So it's really like a deep rabbit hole that you don't want to jump into.
That's why I try to mind my business.
Yeah.
What people need to do. What people need to do with the Wade family.
That's a great segue.
I did it. Yeah, you liked it.
Yep. I was about to say, speaking of the Wade family, Dwayne Wade was on Ellen and he was talking about his son, daughter, Zaya. Now, I don't know. I'm gonna get through this without sounding homophobic. Even though I'm not trying to. Anyway,
difference.
Yeah, I know, but you know,
no, you know what?
And I'm gonna try to be respectful. She will now wants to be called Zaya, and yes, Black Twitter, straight black man Twitter, kind of had run their 2 cents about it, and a lot of people was coming at Dwayne Wade about how he's raising this child and all that other stuff. I wanted your opinions on this, and basically, who wants to start?
So for me is I still don't understand the concept of how gender is. Well, I somewhat get how they say gender is a social construct. I would think of things that we use to describe women versus men, like women with long hair,
long hair dresses,
certain clothes and stuff. But
Yeah.
I still to me, science. I don't think you really, no matter what you do, you're not physically taking homo pills or anything. This could be some of my ignorance because I'm still trying to learn more about the transgender community. That you really can't change it, but at the end of the day, it's none of your business, and just respect the person. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to agree with it if they any part of the LGBT they are. You don't have to understand it. Just respect the person. Just treat them like a normal person. And the school I'm at now is very different type of breed of people in there. I got classes with two trans people, with a few trans people. I met one of the teachers trans. It's this school is really heavy in LGBTQ. I say that. And out of nowhere, there's a trans man in my class, and I call him Matt, like he asked to be. Use the pronouns he asked, just out of respect for him, and that's all it asks for. And I don't agree with people saying that, oh, he too young to know this, he too young to know that. They always talk about sexuality and like that. But I remember people talking about dry humping in the 12th grade, watching porn, thinking 5th grade somebody bought a Playboy magazine to school, and we all wanted to watch it. We knew what we was into.
I like girls by like
Mm.
sometime like late elementary school.
And then
Fifth grade when I was staring at my teacher's titties. By the way, what up,
Right,
Cuter Rich
right,
God?
exactly. Like I knew what I
Cuter Rich
like.
God was good.
What's up, y'all?
oh shit, it's cute.
What's up?
What's good, y'all?
But go ahead, finish your finish what you saying.
Um, and that's all it's about. I mean, just see some of the stuff through your life, and I think the way doing the thing. There's still his child, no matter what he do. I mean, you can cut him off, but it's still your child by blood. And I think you mentioned, one time in the talk in a one of our conversations before. As long as they do, proper research and he make the right decision for himself, that's all that matter. That he listened to everybody, people who transition and loved it, and the people who transition and want to go back. Everybody got their different reasons. I think I watched the video of a trans man transitioning back into a woman, and it was something they had to find in themselves about what they went through, and it was just a coping mechanism. It's not who they really wanted to be.
Hmm.
But we always growing to learn who we want to be. 15-year-old Phil never thought he had been a damn Marine, let alone college at all. But that's life and journey. There's a lot of things, that I once agreed on, and probably don't now, or probably in the middle now. That's life on how you do everything. Y'all know it. I don't like dating outside of black women too much anymore. But when I was younger, I didn't. See, I wasn't a. It wasn't dating only black women wasn't something that crossed my mind. But as I grew as a person, that's something that came to me. Like, yeah, I'd rather black women are it.
The bees knees.
And it's all about value the way family. Just mind your business. I don't like all the comments for it. The dumbest comments I hear is that Dwayne Wade is low key bisexual or gay.
I saw some of those too.
Oh my god.
Those are like
That nigga, that nigga married to Gabrielle Union. Please stop.
Oh my god.
It reminded
Like,
me one time this one dude on my friends list from Baltimore was defending LGBTQ rights, and a few people come on his status like, "Bro, are you in the closet or something?" Like, how does that correlate?
so if a white person starts to support a black person,
They want to be black.
um, exactly. So I think that's how society works. You can't naturally just want peace in every aspect. You have to. It's a lot of side choosing. It's a lot of uh, I guess people look at these things as like clicks. I run into a lot of people who have these problems with the LBGT. I don't necessarily
The
know it.
alphabet people.
Yeah, basically, I don't necessarily know the actual thing, but I have no problem with it. I don't care. Be who you want to be. I know who I am. I'm a man. I want to be the man that I've always been. If my son was to come out and You know, if I was in his shoes, if I was in Dwayne Wade's shoes, I think I would probably do the same thing, and I would probably have my family members who would dispute that situation as you know, as far as them saying that he isn't ready or he doesn't understand or he's not sure of it. You know, a lot of these people come out later because these accusations are made that you don't know what you want at a certain age. I knew exactly what I wanted by 10 years old.
Do you know exactly? Do you know everything you exactly want at any age? No, I'm 31, still trying to figure out.
Yeah,
Nigga, I
exactly. But I
discovered I
mean,
had a foot fetish at 5th grade. In my 2nd grade, I already
ew,
knew I liked.
ew. Let's stop that.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
not talk about
no, there
that.
you go. No,
Hey, you let Wallace have a foot fetish. Let Lucy live in the truth. You know,
I
some people
know.
out here, it's dudes out here that like to be pegged and don't want to tell nobody.
Oh God, God, please no.
No,
People
I
always
actually
talk.
know a homegirl. I actually know a homegirl that takes some niggas, and I was like,
I
wow.
I I know too.
You said it was
I know a
weird, but
girl.
she
I
enjoyed
know
it
a
though.
girl who I know a girl who has said she spent them, bent them, and went up in him. That's how she pronounced it.
God damn.
So yeah, that sounds a little violent.
I met you mean I find it weird because I've met some girls who say they like it, but they just not gonna date a dude. Their boyfriend just can't be it. I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
y'all weird. Y'all want submissive
Yeah,
dudes, but
I
you're there.
understand that. I
I
Mm,
understand
understand
that.
that. That's
yeah.
like a man saying, I don't want he don't want the woman that he sleeps with every night to be like as friendly and
Oh,
hoish. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But every man loves a hoe. Every man
Yeah.
loves a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Every man
For
has that
recreational.
one.
Recreational.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, for recreational purposes only. It's only temporary.
mm.
So if you are a hoe and you're listening to this, trust me, it's temporary. It's
But
not gonna last forever.
about the thing of people knowing what they want, there's some people who know exactly what they wanted. I remember at my martial arts school, one of the kids there, and the owner of the school talked about one of the kids there that the kid told him like 10 or 11 that he wanted to fly jets. Your man is an officer in the Air Force flying jets.
Oh wow. I
Some
mean,
people, some people actually know what they want super early. Some of us it takes a little longer because we're not exposed to a lot. And I say again, I think they're going by the right way, taking their time and letting her do it.
I'm gonna be honest. I 20% care, and the 20% is like I'm gonna start putting my I don't care meter in percentages. So for
okay,
this,
okay, that's
I
very
20%
respectful.
care, and the 20% is one. Does the kid Zaya wants to be in the spotlight like this? Because
Hmm.
I don't. It's cool that Dwayne Wade wants to support his son being LGBT. Does the kid want to be in the spotlight like that? We don't really
Right,
know that.
right.
So, and I'm not saying I want to hear from the kid, but a little bit. If he says, I'm pretty sure he tells us that like I'm glad you support my things, but like everything ain't got to be newsworthy.
Hmm.
That's another. And another thing, because since he wants to be called a woman, um, is he going to get that transit? Are they going to go through with him going fully transitioning at 12? And this part right here where I feel like you could be supportive, but you also have to be a parent.
Hmm.
If he wants to have the, and Dwayne Wade is doing the right thing by doing all the researches. He's asking the people from polls different opinions and all that other stuff. He's getting the information, which I'm proud that he's doing. But for what I've read about people that transition, they either love that they went through it, or B, regret it and wants to go back. Some people can go back, some people can't. There are some people like Flame where, yes, he's transgender, but he's also a straight man and he likes dyke women. So,
Right.
people are
Dang.
just weird. So,
Yes.
I followed a girl. My bad, right? But just to go with it, I ended up following some chick on Instagram, and her girlfriend was transgender, and I was like, okay, that's different.
Very
I
But
different.
seen
you
a
learn.
pregnant man, and I seen a trans couple that the man was pregnant and the woman was support like holding him on like it was baby. I was like, oh, that's just.
You just learn. But
I'm
as
not gonna
a
lie, it like fucked my head up. Like shit like that
It,
will
it should.
fuck my head up.
Any
Um,
person raised in normal society would have a
define
fucked up
normal.
head after seeing that.
I was about to ask. I'm about to be on my
Normal
James
is
too.
what occurs more frequently in any given
I would say more
situation of
traditional.
society.
Yeah,
I
basically.
think traditional is a better word.
Yeah.
All right.
No, norm
So
is a good word because the norm is what occurs more frequently.
Exactly.
So
so
I look
normal is
Frequently
at
a
where?
good word.
Frequently where though? Normal is based on location, region, and culture.
that's
That's why I
true
said. That's
too.
when I said any given situation of society.
Ah, I
Yeah,
didn't hear that
that's
part.
true too.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But I'm gonna say this, right? And this is regards to the LGBT community, right? I feel like within the LGBT, there needs to be a space in which they acknowledge that this shit is fucking weird. And I'm gonna explain why. If you have two men kissing, all right, fine. These two consenting men, whatever. You have two women kissing, fine. Okay, two consenting adults, whatever. But where you lose people is the whole non-binary, transgender. Oh, I'm gender fluid like type shit.
They just bounce around wherever the wind blows.
Yeah, that's gonna confuse a lot of people who not. First of all, they're not really even exposed to that shit. Second of all, if you look at the actual statistics, they measure like only about 5-6% of everybody in the U.S. identifies as some kind of LGBT, and that's only the people that identifies themselves as such. Because there's
Hmm.
clearly a lot more that's still in the closet. And they
Right.
always say that sexuality is a spectrum and gender is a spectrum. So if that's the case, then you can understand that within that spectrum, there is a lot of room for people to mix and match.
Mm.
And I've seen people do this, mix and match whatever they feel like they identify closely to. That shit can be very fucking confusing, especially when you got articles talking about there's over 160 genders or whatever, and then there's list of people trying to break that shit down and trying to explain, oh my pronouns is Z and Z or whatever. It's just we're getting to a point now. You're telling us all of this, and a lot of us are gonna kind of embrace it. A lot of us are gonna, oh, okay, that's cool. But then a lot of us are just gonna be like, hey, bro, this too much shit. I'm not even just live your life. I'm gonna go over there and do my own thing. And with
Basically,
those
that's
type
how I
of
feel.
people, it's not even us trying to be homophobic or whatever. It's just that's your world, all right? That's your world.
Hmm.
I always told people I will never, ever, ever go to a pride parade. Not because they gay or whatever, not because I'm homophobic. It's because them motherfuckers is weird. If you see some shit that they be doing over there, fucking Jesus with the fucking
I
rainbow
mean,
panties and shit, I'm not
you
going there. But
you say that, and we got a friend who's gay. There are things he's just like that's not for him either.
yeah,
Within the gay community, he's just not too gay.
yeah. So like, like like sometimes I can understand where y'all coming from, and I'll do the I'll be able to do the research. Me and Ray, we're big fans of the show Pose. That show's fucking great. Shout out to my boy Billy Porter. But
Billy Porter.
sometimes the shit that y'all be saying, and like the shit that be coming out, like they was having that thing where drag queens was reading to like little kids and shit like
Yeah,
that.
that's good. Man.
Yeah, like when you have certain shit like that, you have to expect people to not only side eye it, but be in complete like rejection of it, or just not will not want to be in a position to understand it. Because no matter what you do, there's gonna be people that's gonna resonate it with it. There's gonna be people that don't care, and then there's gonna be people that's gonna oppose you. So like
Yeah.
just have this just keep your energy for those who embrace you and who fuck with it, And the people who don't care, they just don't care. You're not gonna sway them. They just quiet. You know what I'm saying? When the news came out, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then I kept scrolling. And then you gonna have motherfuckers that's just gonna be like, hey, yo, man, fuck this shit. They feminizing our men. Like, you gonna have people that's gonna say whatever. So just have your energy reserved for those who's trying to understand, who's trying to have those conversations, and then get to a place where you happy. Because if you're not happy, then are you really living? So just be happy. Shit.
You ever heard of Devon's Amazing?
Mm-mm.
Oh, y'all should look up Devon's Amazing real quick. They had uh um a 9 or 8 year old. Either way, he was young as hell. They hit puberty yet. Drag boy dancing in a gay adult club.
Oh, is it that little white boy?
Yeah, Devon's Amazing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
what it
know
is.
my name. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's him. And that's the type of shit that's like y'all going a little bit too far with that type
Yeah.
of shit.
You talking about the little boy that looks Korean?
No, he didn't look Korean. I think he was white.
Yeah, he was
But
straight up white
Okay.
Is
boy.
it a little white boy that's it like a drag queen?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's a.
Devon's
Okay, I know what you're
Amazing.
talking about. I watched it. I watched it.
Yeah, that was too much.
And this is what I'm saying. It's like, okay, when do you be a parent?
Hmm.
Because there's been drag queens been saying like that shit is no place for kids.
Right, right. Like a lot of people in that gay club was like they felt uncomfortable with that whole situation.
You know what that shows me? That these people that think for some reason every gay person is going to molest a kid, it shows them that they're wrong
Yeah,
completely.
a
Everybody
lot, a
got.
lot, a lot of gay people I know don't ain't for child abuse.
Mhm. But for some reason, everybody think gay people gonna do something with their kids as soon as they left alone, which is weird.
Straight
And
people do something to your kids.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I think I was watching a movie a long time ago. The kid was kidnapped.
Close camera.
I can't remember. He was kidnapped. He was like 8 or 9 or something, and he was getting molested by the dude that kidnapped him and his girlfriend.
Uh,
It was like, wow.
I'm
Mm.
I'm I'm doing that.
They really do
Yeah.
feel like that.
Hmm.
Okay. Anybody have anything else to say before we get on to our next topic?
Mind your motherfucking
I
business.
I
Yeah.
I personally want to commend Dwayne Wade for not allowing the naysayers who try to de demasculate his character because of his child's decisions to be who she wants to be. I commend him. I commend Gabrielle Union for supporting the situation and actually being a extra push for him to really go and research it and really put his nose in the business to where he's very aware and supportive of what his now daughter is doing. Um, mind
Mm.
your fucking business.
Mm.
It ain't your child. You can't afford nothing that he doing for his kid. So stay in your mental and financial lane. That man can go and pay for whatever that child wants to do, when he wants to do it, whenever he
Mhm.
wants to do it. You can't do it. You're behind the scenes being mad. The man is doing what a parent is supposed to do, basically. If it was a girl who wanted to be a boy, we wouldn't have this issue.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? If God rest Kobe's soul, if Gigi, God rest her soul, decided that that was the way she wanted to go, wouldn't nobody have a problem with it?
Ooh.
Nobody would have a problem with it. That's where I have an issue with it. It's like everybody's okay with girl on girl.
Nah, be some people so damn homophobic. It don't matter about girl on girl.
Like it's not. It's like I mean, get over it. It's
Yeah,
2020. It's 2020. You know what I'm saying? It's not about it being out and open. It's about people being comfortable enough in this society to be who they want to be and be who they truly are. A lot of people lost their lives years ago because they weren't strong enough to say, "Hey, this is who I am." Let's be glad that we're making a step forward We're saving lives. We're saving people
Some
from,
you,
you know.
you know what?
So yeah.
I heard a teacher today who was talking about his online class and how some of the people he got just don't want to understand certain things. He actually had a teacher. He actually had one student that tried to argue him that race is not a social construct.
What?
the the person tried to argue with him that race is not a social
Wow,
construct.
that's interesting.
Then another person tried to. I think he asked like, how do people identify what verbiage that people use to identify different genders? What's the most common ones? Which is male and female. And one of the people who tried to argue with him on that to the point that it was like, I'm transgender. I don't think I should do this project because I don't subscribe to this. And then as the teacher replied, so am I. So I don't want to hear.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. I did not see that one coming. That's amazing.
I didn't even when I was sitting there listening.
I was
I
right on
did. I didn't see that coming. But I mean, hey, this is 2020. We got to get with the program.
It's
Like,
weird about the transgender person though. Trying to argue something like that. That was just really weird to me. For some reason, you would think people more into deeper into those topics. You know,
I, I feel
would be a
like
little bit open minded.
when it comes to the alphabet people, as you will call them, just don't slam it in my face, okay? Don't just slap it on the table. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. Please don't slap it on the table. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, you know, don't force me to be okay with it. Allow me to adapt to what I'm getting used to, and then it will be, I won't have a problem with it. I don't like the flamboyant. I don't like the people who try to make it, like, hey, you're gonna like it and you're gonna like it now. It's not like that. It's not that easy. You know.
Yeah.
So with that being said, just we're okay. I don't care if you're gay, you're straight, whatever. You're human. I'm human. Look,
Like, I
it's
only
I,
care until you start messing with animals and little kids. Then we got a problem.
exactly. That's it. That's it. Animals, you're weird. Kids,
You gotta go.
yeah. Basically, I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it.
I
I didn't
said you
want to
gotta
say
go.
it. You know what I'm saying? But
Them niggas got to go.
yeah, got to go. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I mean, other than that, like, what more can, I mean? We can't stop you. I'm not going to try to change your mind. Like, so, like,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not going.
think to me it shows that people without even thinking, they just live vicariously through other people. Like I feel like when a lot of people saw Dwayne Wade's situation with his son and him accepting it, it kind of like throws people off because you obviously in the black community you don't see a lot of fathers accepting their sons um lifestyle if they go that way. You don't really hear a lot about it.
My
The only
father,
person I know that's really accepting of it was Xavier, who is not here right now, and his father's cool with his lifestyle, but you don't really hear that. So, but this taught me that a lot of people are live vicariously through other people. Especially celebrities, not just this, just like celebrities, if they're doing something different, it's like, wow, I wondered how if I was put in this same situation, what would I do? And I think this is
right?
why you get a lot of people saying like, oh, that couldn't be me, or well, most people say, I'm glad, like the whole ballet thing is like ballet is cool, but my son does kickboxing and all that other stuff. It shows that people just automatically live vicariously through people. So
It's gay.
Mhm.
that's
People.
one thing I did take out of this. Also, I wanted to bring this while Xavier's here, but I guess not. So I'm gonna bring this with y'all. There was this test, and it was like the largest test that they tested 1 million people to find if there was a gay gene inside of them, or if there was such thing as the gay gene, and they couldn't find it nowhere in a million people. So they came up with the solution that sex is just complex. What do y'all think about that?
You're damn right, it's
I'm
complex.
black.
Yeah, it's very.
I would say
Yeah.
this because, like, I've always said that people are snowflakes. Like, everybody has their individual thing. Father, he has a real deep feet fetish. I
Yep.
love
Yeah,
titties.
yeah,
There's a woman out there that's married to a roller coaster. There are people.
Damn.
There are
Yeah, I
people in
forgot
my
about that
the
one.
fuck.
The
yeah.
transition.
There's a woman
Roller
that's
coaster
married.
shit.
She's in love with a roller coaster. That shit is
Mm.
weird. And yes, there are pedophiles, and I'm not for it. No, I'm defending it. There are pedophiles. There are people that are into little kids, which is disgusting.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just sex is just very complex.
But the
Go ahead.
pedophile thing is, I've seen like some videos about ones who really hate themselves because they're attracted to little kids.
Yeah, I heard about that situation too.
I
Hmm.
I am not attracted to a simple-minded child. Like, no.
Some people scared, like if we try to accept those people, we're gonna try to make it normal, which we shouldn't. But I've seen stories of just
Yeah, that's
dudes
been
just,
going around lately.
but
That's a no no.
I
Yeah,
have seen some
absolutely
dudes
not.
just like dudes and women, like I hate it.
Have y'all seen this group of people who have sex with the soil?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, so I'm not the only one that saw
I
definitely.
that.
laughed at that.
Mm.
I actually laughed at that. I thought that was like the funniest shit ever.
What they call it? They had soil sexual. What they call it?
They just fucking the earth
Gaia
and just
sexuality, some
Yeah,
shit like
Gaia,
that. I'm like, damn.
Um,
something like that. Terrasexual, something.
what's that
Oh
channel?
yeah, that's
Jubilee.
when you building a rapper.
Yeah, Jubilee.
yeah,
Jubilee.
Jubilee.
I watched a video about a dude that was in a cult for he joined the cult when he was 19. I think he was in the cult for 16 years, and he just talked about how the cult leader was, how the cult leader would say stuff and make homosexuality like this most enlightened way to get to God, in order to sleep with some of the men in the camp. And that's just
Yeah,
like that's
yeah,
crazy.
I'm good on that.
But I did learn a
Yeah.
lot about people who join cults and why they join. It ain't about them always being ignorant. It's about them being gullible more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he said, I knew it was wrong, but yet it was a sense of camaraderie we had that made me stay sometimes. That made me stay most of the time. And I think one person asked him about, this the one where they had people come in and ask you while looking at you.
Hmm.
And somebody asked him, what did you have the courage to leave? And he's like, I didn't have the courage, but there were people who did, and we kind of shunned them. And I kind of regret it, and like, really brought a tear to his eye. But I just wanted to bring up that weird ass cult leader. You can be with God, but you got to suck my dick first.
So, y'all heard about that?
Young, what?
That's basically.
Hey, y'all cannot say shit like that around me, dog. Like that is like that is a catchphrase.
Mm.
That is crazy. Like, hey, shout out to my man Shaquille Sunflower because he got out of the coat. He's a living legend. He survived.
That's a Martin reference. I don't know that anybody would get but me.
I know.
I
That was the beautiful part. I
That
was
flew
waiting for
over
Ray to
my
say
head. I
something.
watched
I
Martin,
was,
but that flew over my head.
Yeah, me too. I was
Yeah,
gonna say
I
I.
got that. I caught that.
I know.
I
I knew
caught
Ray
that
was
one.
gonna catch it. I knew Ray was gonna catch that one. My
Oh,
man Shaquille.
man.
My man Shaquille Sunflower. He the only person that made
Next
it in
time
and
you
out.
come here, please park your horse outside. We ain't got no
we don't
hay. We
have
ain't got
we don't have nothing to feed the horses.
Damn.
Yes.
even in a lightened moment, he had one more for Pam. So that's
Right. He's like, what I need you to do is pack your camel
okay.
and go. Hmm. Hey, side note. So I had a debate today.
All right. The last topic I wanted to get to. I'm gonna be honest. When I first heard of the coronavirus, I thought it was like any other sickness that that was going through, and like it'll be over in some months and all that other stuff. But this coronavirus has gone really real where people's like it might be that in Wuhan, China, they're like welding people's doors shut just to make sure like that shit don't spread and all that other stuff. And
Um,
like can you hear me?
Yeah.
mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. So basically how do y'all feel about this coronavirus and all that shit?
Oh, ooh, who goes first?
You want to go first? You seem like you want
I
to
You
go
wanna go
first.
carry
first,
hand
Q?
sanitizer with
Yeah,
me.
please,
Go
please. I want
ahead,
to go
Q. Go
first.
ahead, Q.
Okay, let's start off by saying this. Okay, to all funny, everything funny. Okay, right now, but I'm gonna get serious. Doesn't it feel like we're about to be like in a Resident Evil game, or like, or like maybe it's just like 28 weeks later type of
Kill me
thing?
now, cause I can't run from nothing. Just kill me
You
already.
know,
Yeah, you're done.
I don't want to see Phil chasing me. You know,
Don't
with
worry, I
blood in
can't.
his eyes.
Don't worry, I'm gonna be eaten alive, cause even as
But
a zombie, I ain't running nowhere. That's how.
like
Yeah.
that, hey,
It's
that's sad. That's so sad. Even as a zombie, you're driving somewhere.
Hey, can y'all? No, man, I'm not gonna do that. That'd probably be insensitive. I was about to make a joke about a physical ailment, but never mind. People might not take it.
But in all reality, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if these are one of those let's depopulate the country type of thing, or are they just so incompetent with medicine and so, well behind in technology? I mean, well, they're not behind in technology, but when it comes to medicine, anything else, they're behind. And I don't know
Well,
if that's a result.
supposedly in China, a doctor was warning about the outbreak. He's now dead, supposedly from the outbreak, but there's a government cover up to protect their country to make them look weak or stupid. And now the school I go to has a campus in China, so we got an email about it because the people going to be coming back after the quarter back here, and people probably trying to go over to the Hong Kong campus. So
Yeah, no. Closest I'm going is Chinatown.
they get
all right, Chris Tucker.
Downtown. That's the closest I go. I'm fine with it. But in reality, we just it's not anything that we have to worry about because it's just it's a virus and we'll defeat it.
now there's been some reports in different places in America. I
Yeah,
just can't think of the
yeah.
places, but yeah,
But
I
I
said good
would
amount of
really
people died from it, the coronavirus as well.
they say you got
yeah
to
that
be like have a weak immune system, so it's really dangerous in kids and older people.
yeah and people
And they also said it's been a repeating pattern. Every 19, something about that year 20, there's been a virus in each 100 years or something.
yeah.
Who
God,
listen?
Yeah. But
Nah.
in all reality, it's just another one of those. We really don't know what's really going on or what's behind it. We'll never know, you know. So I just hope that our health system is prepared and we continue to everybody wash your hands, buy Lysol,
I need you to wash your
and
hands and your ass because some of you don't
yeah,
do that.
please,
facts.
please,
Especially if you go on the Katsucon this weekend. Please
Oh
wash your
Lord
hands.
Oh
Jesus,
Lord,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
people
going.
please,
coming from everywhere.
yeah,
Come
please
come
clean your body, clean yourselves, clean everything around you because this thing is real. It's easy to contract apparently. So, you have to be mindful that this virus is really, taking a toll on one country, and we do not want to be a part of it. So let's try to prevent it. I hear Lysol is like the cure. The
I mean,
Someone told me alcohol.
coronavirus.
shut up, Ray. That was
Yeah, it's actually on the bottle.
Is it in order to beat coronavirus, you need to drink a Corona.
Wow.
That's why I told him to shut up because I knew he was.
The cure was in the
Yeah.
title all along. How did this come under our notice?
Man, you see,
You ain't
Mexicans don't
shit.
get
I just
sick.
What are
want.
you doing over there, Bucko?
I just
You ain't
want
never,
you to know you ain't shit.
you know what I'm saying? You know, the Mexicans don't get sick,
Okay,
so don't call
anybody
them
got any
germ
last
carriers.
words before we get some final thoughts?
So the thing about this coronavirus, real quick, I hope people like actually are okay over there in China, but there's a lot of Chinese in Africa, so I'm gonna need y'all to stay away from the Chinese people because we're not trying to have another motherfucking virus over there that they don't planted in our motherfucking communities for so long. So to all my Africans out there, please be careful. I'm not trying to be racist or nothing like that. I'm just saying, bro, we already been through a lot when it comes to these motherfuckers coming into our spots and
Facts.
fucking with the locals and shit like that. I think there was like a news report in Uganda talking about there's a lot of mixed kids in Uganda because these Chinese workers have relations with the women and then dip right after. So please be careful. You know what I'm saying? Just because they have lighter skin than you doesn't mean they're gods. Just be careful, my Africans, please.
Preach.
That was well put, Father.
Thank you. Thank you.
I wish Xavier was here for because his favorite gossip
All right,
talker.
and all right, let's go to our final thoughts, and we're going to start it off. We're going to start with Q.
Q, the reach god.
Oh yeah, cue to reach God. You gotta reach for the stars, man. You got to reach for the stars. Uh, Final thoughts. Gail Kim, fuck you and anyone that likes you.
Damn.
That was just my little Wayne impression. Um, let's start off by saying, I never got to really talk about Kobe. Um, let's leave the man alone. He's finally buried, resting in peace with his child. You know, there's no reason to bring up anything. There's no reason to bring up anything. This virus, like I said, let's stay safe. Let's stay clean. Mind your business about Dwayne Wade. Why people don't mind their business? It's 2020, and that's the one thing people still don't do. They still don't mind their fucking business. It's just like why
They
can't
don't
it
know
be like
how.
in why can't it be like 1990 when you didn't have the internet and it took a while for some business to be spreaded around? You know, like you didn't hear, but until like a month later that somebody got their ass whooped. Like why can't it be like that? You know, you know what I'm saying? You remember those days? You
Mhm.
remember when you had to figure out after the day after? I mean, like the next day at school that somebody got beat up after school walking home. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That was the beauty of what I'm saying just society. We were taken away from everything that makes us human, that makes us you know able to survive, and it's dumb. People are so judgmental. Ray, thanks for having me on the show. I was supposed to be on here last week, but I had some battery issues on my phone. So, you know, Phil, that's all I got to say to you.
Hey, Q, look. To make you feel any more worse about me, I
Okay,
met the dream, and the first thing I said to him was, "You look like the dream," because I didn't realize it was him.
Young, I hate you. Are you sure you didn't look in the mirror and think that you ran into the dream? Because that could
No,
happen
he
too.
goes to my college. I was walking around, and I passed him. I looked at him, and I was like, "You look like the dream, bruh." And he was like, "Oh, really?" Then I saw him again. I was like, and when I got a better look at him, I was like, "That really is the fucking dream," and I'm stupid.
So the dream goes to your school.
Yes, he is a student.
Is he walking on the moon?
And then I know that it's true.
You got
He
me
got me
walking on the
walking
moon.
on.
I love y'all so much. I'm not even
And that
going
song a
lie.
banger, bro.
I'm a little sad
That
because
song is amazing. That song
I'm a
is
little
amazing.
I, I'm a little sad for two things. Because it seems like only nobody under 30, nobody under 25 knows them unless they're black at the school. Sad.
I
Man,
know that man wrote a lot of great songs.
a lot of great songs.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Shawty rock to the beat for your boy.
I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have stalked him a day. No
A
homo.
day. A day.
For a day.
A
Yo, the
day.
nigga wrote a lot of like he's one of my he was like the nigga
A
I
day.
listened to a lot.
He got a week out of my life. like,
Love like love
like,
versus money was my shit.
young. If my uncle knew that I knew or that you knew, like, dude, he look. I'm trying to tell you, man. The Dream wrote so many hits. He made so many
Hey,
hits.
he wrote what's that junk? I I was wondering why a little white boy had a bopper out there at one point. You know what I'm saying? That junk was hidden. That song, Justin Bieber's "Baby," was written by The Dream, and I was like, no wonder.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. That's absolute. Come on,
I
man.
love
The
the
Dream,
dream, but
man.
I still hate that song.
Yeah. Baby, you
I
hate that
understand.
song?
I can't understand why.
I agree. I totally agree with you. I didn't like Justin Bieber because of that song. Like that song ruined it for me. Like,
Yeah,
like any chances you had of me being a fan, stopped right there.
you stopped right there.
Like,
And then Ludacris don't make it even better. When I was 15, I found my first love. Shut your
that was it for him too.
I
Hey, I
can't
leave
His,
Ludacris alone.
his sideburns disappeared. You know what I'm saying? He ain't have
Mm.
hoes in different area codes no more.
I'm saying
You know what I'm saying? His life was over right then and there. Justin
chicken
Bieber,
and
you
beer.
ruined a lot of people's lives, man.
All right. Shining Wolf, you got any final words?
Say what?
You have any final word?
Final word. Fuck white media.
I
Fuck
agree.
Jewish media.
I agree.
And all them trying to so hard to attack black men who making it out here.
Yup.
I agree with that too.
First
And the
Black
coons that
Ginger.
help them move forward too.
In the year 2020, if you're a Christian, AD for you. You know what I'm saying? I had AD for you, but mine, your motherfucking own capital. It's capital OWN.
Oh,
Own
W.
fucking business.
Wow.
And I ain't talking about the Oprah Winfrey Network. I'm talking about
Nah,
Black Benny.
we definitely ain't talking about her because she minding everybody else's business but
Hey,
hers.
you know what? I know Oprah does a lot, but I have seen stories from different things I listen to about her putting people on too. So I
Tony
understand.
Tony Braxton proved to me today that Oprah Winfrey doesn't just go after black men. She just goes after people beneath her.
What a damn shame.
Hmm.
Because she did the same exact thing to Tony Braxton.
My baby.
I know.
Hey,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
AQ,
that shit broke my heart.
what's your Instagram again?
Uh, Q to reach God, or is reach God Q? One of those.
It
No,
got
it's reach
reaching.
God 101.
This nigga. It's reached something.
It got reaching.
Father, you got any last words?
Um. So I actually want to give a shout out to someone that I follow on Instagram. Her name is Simi on the Beat on Instagram. I've been following her content for a while. She's a makeup artist. Very, 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 very good sister. I think, I'm going to plug her shit, Simi on the Beat on IG. Very, very talented sister. I think she's gonna go very, very far. She's like one of the real makeup artists that I like actually pay attention to. And she's Nigerian, so I gotta support my West Africans. You know what I'm saying? Um, I also wanna shout out someone else. Hold on, let me get prepared here. Okay. It's another girl named Chi Chi that I followed. Another Nigerian. I'm getting a lot of love from Nigerians nowadays. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but
You want some neck
she
down and
also hosts a podcast. Let me get the name of it real quick. Scumbag Radio. I'm gonna shout them out too. Because we support our black people in Black History Month, and Wakanda forever, in the words of Harriet Tubman.
Oh my god!
That fucking picture.
That is beautiful. You motherfucker. You thought it before I did.
Lord Jesus, that picture.
Oh,
I'm mad they still didn't give her the A-Mo stance. That's the picture I want, the A-Mo stance.
I forgot something. I forgot to say something. I want to personally say happy birthday, to me and Michael Jordan. My birthday hits on Monday. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how old he is, but I know I'll be 26. So yeah, let's go ahead with that. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Okay. I got like three things. One, I'm interested in that Shayna Baszler Becky Lynch feud ever since she bit that bitch Becky's back of her neck.
Ray,
That shit
I called you. Ray, I called you.
Q called me. Q called me.
I
He was
never,
like, yo, did you
I
see what
never
happened?
called
Okay,
Ray during wrestling. I never called Ray during wrestling. That moment, I was like, Ray, what the fuck did I just watch? He just bit, and you know what his response was? She just bit the bitch in the back of the neck. And then I asked, my uncle.
You ever just sit there and you just look at? Because I was looking at my phone. I was like,
I really hate being in school because I'm missing all the good wrestling. All I get is SmackDown. SmackDown be alright every now and then. I probably want to get SmackDown tomorrow night. Shit. Yeah, I want to cry.
My uncle's so gangster. He looked at it and then went right back to his phone. I didn't even realize he seen it. like he was just she just bit the bitch in the back of the neck. I'm just like, so what is this now? What are you doing now?
I'm gonna show it to my father. You think wrestling is fake? I'm gonna be like, it's fake now, ain't it?
Hey, who's a Japanese wrestler that had to retire because his headbutts were just too brutal to the point he ended up hurting himself with them?
Headbutts?
Yeah, headbutts. Damn, what is his name? My man used.
Oh no,
he used a.
Was he Samoan?
No,
because I know them Samoan. You headbutt the shit out of people.
Probably he was Samoan.
I said.
No, you said.
I said he was specifically a Japanese wrestler. Now that he was wrestling in Japan.
What was it Jack Gallagher? Oh. I was thinking gentleman Jack Gallagher.
I was gonna say Funaki, but then I just realized he just gives me a headache. That's what.
But it was a wrestler. It's a Japanese wrestler who wrestles. In New Japan is a lot more brutal than most other places. Not every other place. But my man used to headbutt so hard that people bleed. I think he was doing headbutt so much they say he needed to retire because they were fucking too brutal, even for his damn self.
Before you end up like Chris Benoit.
Hey, can I ask a question?
No.
Go ahead.
Why did Edge come back looking like the Coyote from the Roadrunner TV show?
Hey, yo, let me tell you something. That shit
because he has grit. He has grit.
He has grit.
Like he looks good, but it's like How do y'all feel about Bray Wyatt and Goldberg?
Mm,
I'm interested.
I don't. Yeah.
I'm interested. I'm just going to leave it at interested. I want to see where this goes. Because Bray Wyatt can sell a match, but I don't see this lasting longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because it's a Goldberg match.
Well, that Undertaker Goldberg match is supposed to last 20 minutes, supposedly, but we saw what happened then.
Who? To who? To who?
Until Goldberg concussed himself.
I could tell you that shit was not going to last a goddamn 30,
how
20
in the
minutes.
flying fuck were they going to sell that match for 20 minutes?
It kind of started off pretty decent, but until he couldn't pick up Undertaker for a jackhammer because he was knocked out on his feet.
That was funny as shit.
Yo, you can see Undertaker frustration on his face too. He's
like this
I
month.
thought he was going to hit him for real. I remember that. I thought he was going to hit him for real. I was like, ooh. He did not like
put me in
that.
front of this nigga.
That's funny.
Also, the second thing I wanted to get to, I hope Sonic the Hedgehog, because it come out tomorrow. I hope it's good. I know people got a little mixed reviews, but I'm still interested in seeing Sonic the Hedgehog. So anybody who's seen Sonic the Hedgehog, please do not spoil it for me. And
I really pray that it's
Sonic does.
I actually saw headline reviews, and a lot of the critics that have seen early screenings of it said that they thought it was the best video game movie out ever.
IGN gave it a 7.
Yeah,
I've been hearing that. I mean, it makes me wonder, like, watching.
But I don't know. I don't know if it's possible it could be better than Detective Pikachu though.
Detective Pikachu was good.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, Detective Pikachu was real good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard that, but I got one person. Well, I don't trust their reviews anyway. They said Into the Spider-Verse was horrible, but then said Suicide Squad. No, they said I forgot what movie, but they said some movie was good, and it was
Birds of Prey.
No, it was way before that.
Into the Spider-Verse was
Justice League.
amazing.
Yes, there we go. Thank you, Justice League. She loved Justice League.
Justice League. Wonder Woman carried the entire time.
Basically,
I think that was the movie.
She did though.
Into the Spider-Verse is amazing.
It is.
It's
she gave it.
I
she gave
really
it a 5 out of 10 and said she didn't like it because Miles Morales was the sidekick of the whole movie in his own movie, and I was like,
well, duh.
Like
he didn't know how to use his powers.
But I don't even think that was a side skit.
Like I generally didn't think I would like the movie, and I actually sat down and watched it, and I watched it again right after I watched it the first time. It was that great. Like it was like,
bro. And
like,
then
Jesus.
what makes you appreciate the movie more is when you go look into the behind the scenes and how they combine 3D animation with 2D aspects from comics. Then use animation techniques in part of Miles's character development.
Like the movie was genius. It was all around brilliant. It was just beautiful. I could not stop watching it. Like,
damn, nigga, sound like you in love.
I'm sorry, I generally was. Like when I expect a movie to be below average and it exceeds it, like really exceeds it, like, oh my god, that's just crazy. But
Hey Q, go look at your DM and your Instagram.
oh shit, he gonna send me. Don't send me any women. Raisins enough. I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Like, also, one last thing before I end this podcast. For those who haven't seen Power,
Jesus
Power
Christ.
had a good run, but
Hey, don't say nothing because I ain't get to
as
see it.
father would say, this show is stupid. You ever just like sit back and realize how stupid Power is? And the last episode, without
Hey.
spoiling anything,
Okay.
it's about the dumbest shit I've ever seen, and I loved it. I
Trash.
loved every minute of the dumbest shit
Trash.
I've
It
seen on
was trash.
television.
It was trash. It was
Oh,
the.
it
It
was
was.
It was
stupid.
not
It
It
was
was
trash.
the worst. It was the worst.
stupid.
It
It's
was the
not
worst
trash.
way to end the show. Like it pissed me off so bad.
Anybody got stars that I can borrow? Like stars that so I can
Nigga,
watch it?
just rent it
I
on the
don't,
internet.
I don't have stars. You
I
got
like
if you got a
supporting.
fire stick, you can like fire stick.
Nah, I ain't got one.
Uh, but and Q thought it was trash. I thought it was stupid,
I
but
thought
it
it was.
was funny. Everybody in that show, it shows me that everybody in the show is stupid.
Very
Tariq
stupid.
is stupid.
She's a
Tasha's
bitch.
stupid.
She's dumb.
And for those, look, we're not disrespecting all black women. We're just going directly at Tasha. Yes, she was a hoe. Let's be
Stupid
real.
ass bitch.
And all this is because of Tasha's fault. I blame Tasha for everything.
Stupid
Tasha is
bitch.
the reason for all this.
Dumb
I don't
bitch.
care because that woman is fine as a
I
motherfucker.
love Notori
I
Norton.
love her.
Yeah, she is. Yeah,
Notori
she
Norton,
is.
I love you
Yeah,
to
she is.
death,
I
but
lick
I
her
hate
bottom lip. I
Tasha
lick that bottom lip.
with a
Good God
passion.
Almighty.
I don't fuck with
Good God.
snakes
Good God
except Cody
Almighty.
Mamba.
Mm, that's a
She's so shiny. She just one of
that's
them shiny bitches.
Who? I missed it. Who you say?
Tasha.
No.
that's a.
The girl from 3LW that got kicked out because she was too dark skinned.
Yeah,
Yes.
Why you
she's
gotta
just
say
so
it like that?
because she is, and now she's popping and she's on everybody's movie screen and
No, that was
TV
supposedly the
screen.
rumor. I'm just joking. I just-
No, that is the rumor.
Oh,
That's
anyway,
fucking the truth.
There's a girl that I was in the Marine Corps with. People saying she looked like Tasha, and I'm like,
I don't
bro,
think
if
so.
she looked like Tasha,
You can't just look like Tasha.
yeah, you can't look like Tasha.
You can't just you
I'm
can't.
I
I'm
think
not
it was
gonna
just because
lie.
she was
Not
dark
to be not to be a pervert, but I'm gonna miss seeing them damn sexy ass nipples on TV.
Oh,
Lord have mercy. Why?
skinned. Not to
oh,
Why
be a
God?
pervert,
Well,
but didn't
Lord,
say
Lord
something
have
pervert.
mercy.
Lord have mercy,
Lord have mercy.
Lord Jesus.
Lord
Dog, her
Jesus
body is
Christ.
amazing. I don't
Oh,
care. I
body.
do
Nah,
not
all you
care.
gotta do is go back and watch Notorious. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's when I first seen
that's
him, and
a
I was just
beautiful
like,
ass.
yes. I was like, yes, Lord. Yes,
And
Lord,
also,
Lil Kim.
That is a
Did Lil Kim
boy
look like
Tariq.
this?
They hate you when you on the top, young king. That's my boy. I always said I'm a fan of Tariq. That
Uh,
nigga is the most
Hey,
entertaining nigga
hey,
on the show.
Tariq, hey, Tariq. The
he is the
one
most
thing,
backwards nigga on TV.
But he's
hey,
the most
Tariq,
entertaining.
hey, Tariq. I have a bittersweet feeling towards you. I want to punch you in the face, but then I want to shake your hand. I want to shake your fucking hand because the one thing you didn't do was go out like a bitch like Dre. That's it. As
I have
long
not watched. Hey,
as long as you
Watch it. I haven't watched one episode of the season because I don't have stars.
oh you bitch.
Spoiler.
Either way.
And
Either
no, I
way.
know Dre dies.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay,
gonna
all
tell you
right.
how.
I know
I'm not
Ghost
gonna tell you how.
dies. I
I'm
know
not gonna tell
Tasha
you
dies.
how.
I mean, not
I'm not gonna tell
Tasha.
you how.
Uh, what's her name? Angela. I know she dies. I know a
Bro,
lot of people die.
I
That's what I'm
Uh,
saying.
let me tell you
I'm
something.
not gonna tell you how she but you didn't go out like that. So
Because
Tariq,
people on the
I
internet don't care.
the only thing is that you started
Yeah, I
crying
had to
like a
stay away
bitch.
from Facebook. I had to learn about that. That
Bro,
and the mass singer. Shout outs to Shaka Khan.
bro.
I don't know how Gronkowski beat out Shaka Khan. Yes, I think Gronkowski's
What?
the white tiger.
What the
I think
fuck?
Gronkowski's the white tiger, but other than that,
Hold up.
Man, I'm trying to
What?
watch that too, but fucking school. I love it and I
Somebody
hate
yo,
it.
do
beat
you have
out
Hulu?
Shaka Khan?
Yes. I just don't have
I
time to
think
stop.
Power's on Hulu. I'm pretty sure Power's on Hulu.
Yeah, episode season
Somebody beat
2
out Shaka
or
Khan.
3. I double check again. But
Somebody beat out Shaka Khan.
last time I
Yes,
checked,
yes,
uh,
somebody beat out Shaka Khan.
I'm gonna keep repeating
Everybody
this
was
shit
surprised. On Black
like
Twitter was shocked.
Yo,
Like
so
like
is
everybody
the
like
how do they change up the rules of Masked Singer each episode on how people get eliminated? Because I
Okay, so
thought
basically, like, it's 18. I believe it's 18. Yeah, 18 groups.
mhm,
So it goes from
18. God damn.
yeah, it's 18. So they split into three groups. So it's
Oh,
like
18 people.
three groups of six. Yeah, three groups of six. So in A, B, and C is the six, and then it goes to the final three. They moved on. So the A group has already did their shit. So next week is the B group. And I already think the frog is RuPaul, but that's just me. I'm just throwing
yeah,
out
I do
stupid
too.
guesses.
I do too. I do
You
too.
think the frog
I'm
is
sorry.
RuPaul?
I do too. I swear that's the first person I said. I swear to God, it's crazy. That's the first fucking person I said.
Nah,
I said
because
that
I went and looked at a couple episodes of the first Masked Singer, like an episode from season one and season two, and like an episode from season two. It looked completely different than what they showed after the Super Bowl. I didn't
do,
get
do
to
you
watch
do
the
you
last.
know who won season one?
Uh,
T
uh,
Pain.
was it T
Okay, I
Pain?
was
I
just
thought it was Wayne
yeah.
Brady.
No, T
No, it's
Pain
T
won.
Pain. Wayne Brady
No,
won
T Pain
season
won.
two. Which,
Uh,
No,
by the way, both black men has
I was
won
asking because I
Mass
wanted to
Singer. I
say
just want people to know
I,
that.
yeah, I'm about to say I was asking because I wanted to say if you did not know that was T Pain the entire fucking
I
season,
never
you
watched the
have
first
missed
season.
out.
I just
You
know
have
they won
missed. No, I'm
because
not talking about you. I'm just talking about
yeah.
anybody who's listening who watches Mass Singer and has been listening to T Pain all their fucking life. If you didn't know that was fucking T Pain behind that motherfucking mask, you ought to be shot in your fucking face.
Hey, look when they unmasked the robot and it was Lil Wayne, people were looking at Jamie Foxx and Robin Thicke like you motherfuckers was in the recording studio with him. Hey, I didn't.
Yeah, I was mad at Robin Thicke. Like, bitch, you supposed to know that's Wheezy. You ain't even think to say that.
Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that
that was
could be
definitely
him.
Weezy. You could like just tell that shit.
I
He
you
could
know
not
what?
hide his voice.
I wasn't paying that much attention to be honest, but what really pissed me off when I looked back at the little video, the damn skateboard and fire truck was a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what the fuck? Like,
It
what
didn't.
the
I didn't think
fuck?
about Fireman until like later. I was like that the song that kind of really propelled him because Lil
That's
Wayne
when you
was.
I
say
was
you
like,
broke.
people didn't see that. Hell, this nigga Lil Wayne even ad libbed in his own fucking song. Are you gonna go my way? Weezy. Are you gonna go my way?
Uh,
All right, let me go ahead and end this. Let me go ahead and end this because I would like to thank everybody for jumping on the podcast. I would like to thank everyone out there listening to hear us talk our shit again. Till then, this is you know what. Let me just say podcast, and we're signing off. Peace.